All right, guys. I want to thank you all for watching, and we're going to get right into it. As you all know, the interview on CBS television last night between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle occurred, and it was probably one of the highest rated interviews on CBS. And as a result, I will say this. I am glad that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle opened up about what's going on and everything. I'm glad they told all. I applaud them for doing it. But here's my problem. Who conducted the interview is my problem. Oprah Winfree doing the interview was a terrible idea. And I'll tell you why. As you all know, Oprah and Dr. Phil are super tight. So this gives Dr. Phil all the leverage and all the ammunition to get involved when he shouldn't, to run his mouth about the whole situation. I just kind of wonder what's cooking in Dr. Phil's head right now. Because, of course, as all of you know, whatever is cooking in his evil brain goes right to his mouth and goes right onto the television, and he gets in trouble for it. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. Now, if Oprah did introduce us to him, Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, I wouldn't have much of a problem with this interview. I really wouldn't have much of a problem with this interview if she had gotten her doctors last year instead of sitting on her ass and doing nothing about it. She should have gotten her doctors and disciplined them or even fired them from their shows after their little stunts they pulled, making those comments about the coronavirus last year, about Dr. Oz saying that the schools should reopen and all this and that. And then Dr. Phil saying something about making those disgusting examples from car accidents and deaths from car accidents and swimming pools and comparing them to COVID and saying that we shouldn't be shut down, batting for Donald Trump. That's why I have such a problem with it. And now, Dr. Phil, the fact of the matter is, if he gets involved, it's going to infuriate me. I cannot imagine them wanting to get involved with Prince Harry and Meghan wanting to get involved with him. Because, frankly, Harry, Meghan, Dr. Phil doesn't give a shit about you. All he gives a shit about is making a buck and getting ratings while making the buck. Making the ratings, making the buck off the ratings. He doesn't care about you. He cares about belittling you. He cares about berating you, criticizing you in a bad way, treating you like garbage under your feet. Which is why I just absolutely loathe Dr. Phil. You really want to, and Meghan Markle said in the interview that she had contemplated attempting suicide. Well, if you go to Dr. Phil, it's probably going to make you think about committing suicide again, because you know what? Past guests have contemplated and have attempted suicide because of him. So don't tell me that Dr. Phil's all so wonderful and everything like that. Bullshit. He's not. Prince Harry and Meghan, do you really want to get exploited like he exploited Britney Spears on your mental well-being? You want to get a press release statement out on your mental well-being like you did on Britney Spears? Do you want to go? Do you want to go to somebody who paid off the family of Jodi Arias just in exchange for scoop interviews, even after they turned him down? Do you want to go to someone who gives drugs and alcohol backstage to guests? You want to go to someone who has been sued multiple times and probably being sued right now, the same number as Trump? Do you want to get involved with and get on a talk show with a guy who's been accused of sexual abuse and inappropriateness with a former patient in the 1980s? Do you? You want to go to somebody who called veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder from heroes to monsters? You want to go to somebody who calls veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder monsters? You want to go to somebody who does that? You want to go to somebody who doesn't help people and only hurts them? Because that's what Dr. Phil will do to you. He will not help you. He will only hurt you. How many times do I have to say it to people? Dr. Phil doesn't give a shit about you guys. Why the hell would you want to go to him after doing that interview with Oprah? Why couldn't you just go and do it with Lester Holt or David Muir or Norah O'Donnell or Rachel Maddow? That would have been great. Or even Wolf Blitzer, Anderson Cooper, or somebody other than Oprah, Barbara Walters, if I can get her name out right. If Katie Couric was still doing interviews, why couldn't you go to her? But no, you had to go to Oprah. Why? When everybody knows that's going to give leverage to Dr. Phil to hurt you. Why do people not understand that? Well, all I'm going to say is this. Prince Harry, Meghan, if Dr. Phil approaches you to do an interview, you better start running like hell, because he is extremely dangerous and he is not worth an ear, and he will never, ever be worth your ear. Don't forget that. And yes, I do blame Oprah for Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz. I do. I blame her for just sitting on her ass and doing nothing last year when she should have done something and censured them or fired them or disciplined them or terminated their contracts. That's what she should have done. But no. She just wants to keep peace and sit on her ass and do nothing about it. And I'm still angry about it a year from now. And I'll say it again. Dr. Phil is not the president. He is not God, like Oprah has given him a God degree. Come on. Well, I'll just end with saying this. Dr. Phil had better stay away from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And if you don't agree with me, well, don't agree with me then. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Be safe out there.